everyone, it's your girl Weeza and welcome back to my world. And in today's video, we're gonna talk about love. So as you know, Valentine's Day is quickly approaching, so I wanted to do a Valentine's Day themed video. So I thought, what better way to celebrate Valentine's Day than to give you the science behind love? What else would I really do, honestly? So in today's video, we're gonna do exactly that. We're gonna talk about the science of love and why you fall in love. What is love and what makes you feel all of those things that you're feeling when you're in love? I'll also touch base on why as humans actually fall out of love with certain things or a person. All of that and more will be covered in today's debunked episode. But first, if you're new here or just stopping by for the first time, hey, what's up? My name's Weeza and I do beauty and lifestyle videos. A really interesting thing about me and my channel is that I use my science background to give you the simple science or the everyday facts to help you make more informed decisions when purchasing or doing these things in the future. If that content seems like something that you're interested in, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps my channel, as well as don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. With that being said, let's just get right on with the video. Let's debunk love. Love. Let's talk about it. What is love? This is probably a question we've all asked ourselves one time or another in our lives, or even getting deeper in this, have I actually ever experienced love? Well, the answer is we don't really know. The reason why we don't really know is because we all experience love differently. We all are different people. We all have unique things about us that make us you, and that means that everybody experiences love in a different way. That is just the beauty of love. There is no actual instruction manual telling you how to love or who to love. You can allow yourself to receive love and accept love and invite love in, but you can't actually control how love makes you feel and what love makes you do. What we do know is love doesn't actually come from the heart. Even though every symbol of love is about a little heart that doesn't even look like your actual heart. Your heart looks like this and a heart looks like this. Makes zero sense in my opinion. But nonetheless, it's our brains and the chemistry inside our brains that allow us to love. So you can see a side-by-side comparison of a brain on cocaine, on heavy drugs, and a brain on love. They look very similar. So being in love is like being on cocaine. It activates the same parts of our brain and makes us feel similar without any extra substances in our body. This is a completely natural high. So I guess you can say our brain gets high off all of these chemicals flooding our brain, making us feel all these feelings of love, and maybe even tricking us to making us feel like we're in love when we're actually not. Look up love in the dictionary and it says an intense feeling of deep affection. Talk to a biologist and he'll tell you that it's an essential process us humans need to do to keep the population and the human species alive. Love is required to reproduce and reproduction keeps our species alive. But speak to a psychologist and they'll tell you that love is an essential emotion or feeling all of us humans need in order to feel accepted, wanted, and connected. Humans have a huge desire to want to feel accepted and want to feel wanted. Without these feelings, we kind of tend to lose our brain a little bit. So you see, depending on who you talk to, they have a different definition of love. So there isn't just one defined definition of love. But like I mentioned before, it's science and years of scientific research that has allowed us to understand the complexes of the brain and be able to understand what kind of happens up there when we fall in love. We can now understand love through brain chemistry, the most interesting and fascinating definition of love, in my opinion. So there are three main stages of love: lust, attraction, and attachment. And each stage of love is associated with different chemicals and chemical reactions to make you feel different, be it a quick crush or a long-term relationship. The first stage of love is lust. This stage is driven by our sex hormones, testosterone and estrogen. These hormones are primarily responsible for driving human physical connection. Factors that physically drive lust are things like appearance and personality, as well as something called pheromones. Pheromones are types of chemicals that are secreted by animals and humans to initiate a social response. So in bees and other insects, pheromones are used to communicate with each other. In humans, pheromones are used to attract other humans or attract mates. This may explain why you may not be physically or even personality attracted to that other person, but for some reason you're attracted to them just based on like them. Pheromones may also be the reason why you don't see a connection with someone else and they may find a connection in you. The pheromones for you don't align, but the pheromones for them align. Everybody is different again, we're all unique, so we all have different preferences in our pheromones and what we like to smell. The second stage of love is attraction. This stage is generally driven by the chemical dopamine. This is the happiness chemical and makes us feel warm and giddy inside. It stimulates our brain's reward center to tell us to keep doing this because it makes us feel good. When dopamine is increased, your serotonin decreases. Serotonin is responsible for happiness, but it's also responsible for your well-being. When serotonin is decreased, it literally impacts your entire body. You can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't think, you literally can't do anything without thinking about this person because you're literally obsessed. And we also got one more culprit involved in this stage. His name is norepinephrine. Norepinephrine is responsible for controlling our adrenaline, giving us that rush, that excitement, those beautiful clammy hands that we get when we fall in love, or that heart racing, those butterflies in our stomach. For all that fun stuff that we experience, we can thank norepinephrine. The third stage of love is attachment, or otherwise known as the commitment stage. This is when you have an established bond with your partner, you feel super comfortable with them, your anxiety decreases. You know when you see a married couple who's been married for a long period of time and they literally have no limits as to what they talk about, what they do, or like how they do it? Yeah, that's attachment phase. Whereas some of those topics that married couple talks about, you would never talk about on a first date or with your newfound love. The main chemical involved in this stage is something called oxytocin, the cuddle hormone, the hormone that makes you feel warm, fuzzy, and just loved. So it's the hormone oxytocin that makes you feel good, it makes you feel nice and comfortable with your partner, it makes you feel like a big cuddly ball. Also, fun fact, it's oxytocin that is responsible for that really tight mother-to-child bond at childbirth, and it's also oxytocin responsible for milk production and milk release in mothers to their child. So you can see that this hormone really likes connection, it really likes to be like cuddled, it likes to be loved, it likes to be squished. Oxytocin is a huge player, a huge hormone involved in feeling that attachment, feeling that comfortableness that you can with another person. But there's also one other chemical at play in the attachment phase, and it's called vasopressin. Vasopressin is found to control norepinephrine and dopamine. The chemical is highly involved in the first two stages of love, making you feel connected, giving you all of those like first love butterflies in your stomachs kind of feeling. This is why some scientists believe that in long-term relationships, that lust or that passion may actually fade with time because you're not getting that dopamine rush, you're not getting that adrenaline rush that you usually get when you fall in love. Our brain isn't getting high anymore. It's not getting high off the dopamine, not getting high off the adrenaline, and all of these other chemicals flooding into our brain. That love high physically wore off, and now we're able to see this person for kind of who they are, and we're like, what are we doing? This is not what I want to do. And you realize that isn't really what you want anymore, and that relationship tends to just die out. So what is love? Well, love is unique to everybody and everyone expresses love differently, so there's no actual definition of love. We can simply only make predictions on what we think love is, and our brain chemistry allows us to physically understand what happens in our body and the chemical processes happening inside of our body so we can understand love a little bit more. Truth is, we still don't know everything that happens in our body when we're experiencing love. It's such a powerful emotion, and research is still happening today to discover what love truly is. I also quickly want to mention that love doesn't need to be person to person. These same chemicals are involved when you follow your heart and you do things that truly make you happy inside. Take myself for example. I love science and talking about science. We know, Weeza. And I also love beauty and lifestyle. And when I talk about any of these three topics, I get excited, I get adrenaline rush, I get happy, and I can feel my brain going and it's just like firing off. I got so much happening in there. Like, you don't want to know what's happening in here. It's wild in there. These exact same chemicals that are found in person to person love are also found to hobby to person love as well. So we all have that one thing that makes us super happy, super passionate, super exciting. And I think it's pretty cool that we have a little bit of science and a little bit of justification to back it all up. So that's it for today's video. I'm gonna stop it right here before I get more carried away and continue talking about this. So I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you learned something new about love. What's your chemical addiction? What do you love? Let me know in the comments down below and we can get to chatting. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching and thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll catch you on my next one. See ya!